Hello everyone, and welcome to my The Bold Fans channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Will Spencer is fired by R.J. Forrester. Rich Forrester informed Will Spencer that his position at Forrester Creations was secure this week on The Bold and the Beautiful. As long as it continues to annoy Dollar Bill, he is content to have Will on board despite his parents' attempts to force Ridge out of business. However, is there another reason why Will Spencer might be fired? Elektra gets cousin RJ's attention. RJ Forrester has returned to The Bold and the Beautiful and is quickly making an impression at FC. After just one day in Italy, RJ went to work to catch up with his father, Rich Forrester. When RJ finally got to meet Elektra Forrester, his cousin, they clicked right away. In fact, you may have been repulsed by the cousin's constant flirtation if you hadn't known that RJ was actually a Marone. According to teasers on The Bold and the Beautiful, RJ is enamored with Elektra and doesn't appear to be put off by their same last name. Consider how simple it will be to choose baby names, and they won't even need to modify Elektra's last name on her driver's license. Additionally, their connection won't be hampered by any in-laws. RJ's father assured Will Spencer that his work was secure, but as we all know, his children come first. See how quickly Thomas Forrester's desire for Deke Sharp's position led to his walking papers? We still don't understand why Will would want to work for his parents' rival and someone who mistreated his mother, but that is a topic for another day. RJ gets Will out of the way. RJ Forrester must remove Will Spencer from the picture if he wishes to spend more time with his cousin Elektra Forrester at work. Given that Will's parents are currently the public enemy number 1 and 2, it shouldn't be difficult to come up with a reason for his termination. Is it strange to watch RJ make advances toward Elektra? Or would they be a cute couple? Early week spoilers for BNB January 26th to 30th. Sheila suspects Dylan's opening bridge surprised. Spoilers for the week of January 26th on The Bold and the Beautiful point to a few surprises. Fans may anticipate Dylan having the opportunity to become closer to Will Spencer. For starters, Sheila Carter Sharp will soon become suspicious. In addition, Brooke Logan Forrester and Rich Forrester are going to be caught off guard. Dylan's opening. Let's begin with Dylan, who will have some alone time with Will Spencer. Will might have to eat chicken by himself after Elektra Forrester had to work late. Will won't have to eat alone himself though because Dylan is so handy. Will might believe it was a harmless meal, of course. But Dylan would appear even more obsessed with her hero, and Elektra might be concerned. RJ Forrester's plan. Since Elektra must work late, RJ Forrester may volunteer to assist or keep her company. RJ may take advantage of the fact that Elektra will be more concerned with her job than with flirting. According to previews for next week's John Finnegan Snoops The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffi Forrester Finnegan confided in John Finnegan about her worries. The physician will investigate further to determine whether Sheila has any suspicions. Finn might be shocked to hear Sheila praising Taylor Hayes. Finn is aware that Sheila might turn back into a villain after discovering the truth. However, Sheila isn't receiving much recognition either. Sheila will eventually become suspicious. Sheila will feel ashamed and stupid because everyone else knew but her. Carter Walton and Daphne Rose ought to organize their wedding. Given that her family and house are in Paris, I assume she will prefer the wedding to take place there. Ridge and Brooke will finally discover the truth about Bridge Blindsided Plus. Will Eric Forrester, the new chief designer at Katie Logan Spencer, initiate World War III? Stay tuned as Donna Logan Forrester is sweating out over hiding it from Brooke, even if it is now a secret. During the week of January 26, 2026, whose plot are you most excited to see? Post your opinions in the space provided for comments below. Bold and Beautiful exclusive. Jacqueline McInnes would teases the possible fallout for Shin as Deacon and Taylor catch fire. Jacqueline McInnes Wood, the leading woman of Bold and Beautiful, was serious when she told Soaps.com that Steffi completely loses it over Mom Taylor's infatuation with Sheila's husband, Deacon. Worrying about what the maniac may do if she found out about her husband's emotional affair with his psychologist, Steffi has been overwhelmed by everything that has happened. Furthermore, the fit hasn't even started to hit the Sean yet. Steffi's ideal life. Oh, if only. If Steffi had her choice, she wouldn't have to worry about her mother's wish to be in Deacon's arms all day long, even if it meant putting herself in danger. The Emmy winner remarks, She'd love to sit on the couch next to Finn and just relax, but that's not Steffi's way. It's definitely not her luck. Steffi and Finn's one point of contention for a brief moment following Sheila's defense of Steffi against Luna. It seemed like Finn's better half could be softening her position on her monster-in-law. However, Steffi's hard line is more difficult than ever now that Sheila might be inspired to kill Taylor. For a second time, it should be noted. Wood notes, if Steffi is anything, she is adamant about her opinion of Sheila. Could Sheila's madness doom Shin? It's one thing that she and Finn will argue about, and Finn will always take Steffi's side as torn as he is. One thing I'd love about Steffi is how she can see the truth about someone, she continues. And even though that person is her mother-in-law, she stays true to herself. Given this, Steffi and Finn's marriage may be impacted by Sheila's marital turmoil. Wood believes that Sheila would ultimately be the only thing that could come between them. Thus, if he were to hug his mother again out of compassion for her failing marriage, his strong bond may begin to deteriorate. Wood speculates, only then could Steffi be tempted by someone else. Before Steffi, I believe Finn would be tempted. However, I might be mistaken. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Elektra discovers Dylan's underwear and believes Will is cheating. According to previews on The Bold and the Beautiful, Elektra Forrester might discover Dylan's underwear and believe Will Spencer is unfaithful. Will an unexpected consequence result from a laundry mix-up? Dylan was doing loads of laundry in the January 21st episode, which contained some of Will and Elektra's clothes. Will told Dylan that she didn't need to do that after being shocked to discover their belongings mingled there. Naturally, such a discourse is usually a hint of disaster on soap operas. It seems suspicious and suggests a possible narrative twist that B&B spent airtime discussing washing. The fact that Dylan, Elektra, and Will's laundry appears to be mixed up together could be significant. There's a chance that Will and Elektra's relationship could be ruined by some confusion. Dylan spending time alone with Will at the beach house has already drawn criticism. The authors might be attempting to sow some seeds of mistrust for Elektra because Ivy Forrester thought it was improper. Dylan was already forewarned by Elektra that no one enjoys having a houseguest stay for an extended period of time. Elektra is eager for her friend to acquire a house of her own, even if she doesn't want Dylan living in her car. Despite her pledge to preserve Dylan's relationship with Elektra, it is obvious that he is falling for Will. B&B might now be preparing a laundry disaster that will raise serious doubts about Elektra's infidelity. It's conceivable that some of Dylan's underwear would wind up in the wrong location. If it unintentionally gets mixed up with Elektra's stuff and Will drops it in his bedroom, it might be an innocent error. However, the episode only hinted to Dylan's spicy side during her meal with Will. Perhaps that was a hint that Dylan's persona will soon take a spicy turn as well. In the upcoming episodes, Dylan might get a little manipulative if that's the case. In an attempt to sabotage Will's romance with Elektra, Dylan might put the underwear in his room herself. In any case, Elektra may eventually uncover something that infuriates her. Elektra might believe Will is unfaithful if she discovers Dylan's underwear in an unexpected location. Elektra might accuse Will, but it might be wiser for her to seek solace directly from RJ Forrester. Due to a miscommunication, this could result in Elektra kissing RJ or striking the covers. Stay in for updates on all the drama as spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful indicate that terrible news is undoubtedly brewing for Elektra and Will's romance. Elektra is becoming more envious. Watch out for Dylan. Elektra Forrester is not going to let anyone in on the man she already has, even if her mouth dropped open and her pulse raced the moment she saw RJ Forrester. She is sick of battling unstable young women for Will Spencer's attention. In addition to wanting to assist Dylan as much as possible, Elektra is also the one who recognizes that something is wrong with Dylan. She also has an excessive amount of affection for Will. Elektra casually shares her worries with Will because she doesn't want to come across as an alarmist. Could Will be experiencing the same worries? In addition to wanting to support Dylan, he is unsure if she is growing overly connected to him. All of her stories, especially the one about accidentally killing Luna Nozawa with her automobile, seem off. What could possibly be happening to Miss Dylan, who is so kind and naive? Finnegan is not going to allow Sheila Carter to destroy her life once more in order to save Taylor Steffi Forrester. She actually has an obsession with keeping Taylor Hayes away from Deacon Sharp. She asks Hope Logan for assistance once more, but Hope is unable to identify the issue. But Steffi does, and she fears Sheila may harm Taylor. Steffi needs Sheila to be in the dark about what is happening. Everyone in Deacon's immediate vicinity tries to prevent Sheila from learning of Taylor and Deacon's intimate and improper relationship. Sheila frequently shows up at Taylor's office without warning, so that's easier said than done. How likely is it that she will do it when Deacon and Taylor are in a precarious situation? Ivy's alert: Dylan spies Deacon's dream. While Spencer is being spied on by Dylan, Electra Forrester receives a warning from Ivy Forrester. Deacon Sharp also has fantasies about Taylor Hayes. Hope Logan Spencer's request. Logan Spencer keeps discussing his feelings for Taylor with Deacon. He is devoted to Sheila Carter Sharp. Sheila disappointed him, according to the blonde. They both think Sheila might lose it and go after Taylor. Hope believes that her father's joy is being threatened. Sheila would become enraged if Deacon simply filed for divorce. He can't live with a divided heart, according to Hope. Deacon needs time to reflect. He is pressured by Hope to tell Taylor everything. Taylor Hayes conflict. In the meantime, Steffi Forrester Finnegan is yelling at Taylor for pushing Sheila too far. The daughter desires that her mother cease her professional relationship with Deacon. Taylor is capable with managing her patience. What would happen if Deacon left Sheila to be with Taylor? Steffi wonders. Taylor considers her patient as Steffi departs. Deke Sharp cornered. Sheila corners Deke Sharp after spotting him at the eatery. Sheila states that she and Deacon are truly in love. Her rendition has already been heard by Deke. Sheila is hoping that, like Taylor, Deke and Hope would change their ways. Sheila walks away. Hope walks in and gives Deke an update on Deacon. Taylor's office is visited by Deacon Sharp's fantasy Deacon. Taylor is what the man desires for his future. Taylor also desires that. They begin to make out wildly. As it happens, Deacon's imagination is all that exists. Ivy Forrester's warning. Electra discusses missing dinner with Will with Ivy at Forrester Creations. Ivy tells her niece that Dylan is there, so Will won't be by himself. Electra is ecstatic by Will's generosity and their sincere desire to assist Dylan. Although Ivy thinks that's adorable, Dylan shouldn't be living with Will. Steffi walks in after Ivy leaves. If Dylan is interested, Steffi says they are hiring a receptionist. Electra believes that would be fantastic. Steffi thinks Electra can have Will all to herself once Dylan starts working. Dylan spies at home, and since Electra is unable to attend, Will requests that Dylan eat chicken. As a token of appreciation, Dylan does Will and Electra's laundry. Will receives a text from a reporter while they sample the chicken. They want to know why Katie Logan Spencer left FC. They discuss working at Forrester Creations after talking about Katie. How did Will meet Electra? Dylan wonders. Dylan later observes Will dozing off on the couch. Can RJ maintain his father's trust while keeping a secret? RJ would be treading carefully if he consented to assist Eric with Logan Fashions. On the one hand, he has his father, his work at Forrester, and his position within the firm. On the other, he has his grandfather, his creative integrity, and a new fashion brand that is innovative. Eric needs a team that he can fully rely on. There are no leaks. No conflicting allegiances. Without hesitation. Ridge too? Ridge's memory is lengthy. And a vicious reaction to treachery. The Zend factor. An additional reason RJ could leave Forrester. Let's not overlook the elephant in the design room. Dominguez, Zend Forrester. Zend and RJ have never gotten along. Jealousy is present. Rivalry. Anger. Unresolved conflict resulting from Luna Nozawa. RJ poses a threat to Zend. Zend is perceived by RJ as possessive. RJ's creative space is already constrained because Zend is well established and Thomas has returned to Forrester. Why stay then? Why joining Eric at Logan Fashions might be the best decision RJ can make. If RJ joins Eric, a number of things happen right away. RJ gets creative freedom. RJ avoids Ridge's control. RJ avoids Zend's jealousy. RJ works with the mentor he most trusts. And perhaps most importantly, RJ gets to help build something new rather than just maintain something old. Fashion has never really been the focus of Ridge versus Eric. The war that never ended. It has to do with legacy, command, verification, and unresolved animosity between father and son. Eric feels excluded. Ridge believes he is entitled. RJ serves as both the battlefield and the bridge. Whichever side RJ selects will be seen as a verdict. And someone will suffer greatly as a result of that judgment. The last question. Who will RJ select? Ridge provides safety. Eric provides direction. Ridge offers a job. Eric is passionate. Ridge extends an employment offer. Eric leaves behind a legacy. What about RJ? Without politics, coercion, or manipulation, RJ simply wants to create. However, neutrality is never an option on The Bold and the Beautiful. RJ Forrester will eventually have to make a decision. And when does he? Logan Fashions, Forrester Creations, and the entire canvas will be shaken by the aftermath. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful indicate that this plot is just getting started. RJ might be in the middle of the explosion when the truth about Eric's covert plans is revealed. Keep an eye out. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Is Eric Forrester planning the greatest betrayal or playing a risky double game? Is Eric Forrester elevating the proverb "keep your friends close and your enemies closer" to a level that even devoted fans of Bold and the Beautiful didn't anticipate? Because the recent events involving Eric Forrester and Katie Spencer are not only stunning but also suspicious, strategic, and potentially disastrous for all parties. Jaws dropped in living rooms all around Los Angeles when the dad of Forrester Creations surreptitiously went looking for a design job at Logan's fledgling fashion firm. This wasn't only surprising, it was unimaginable. Or was it? Because the more viewers analyze Eric's abrupt alliance with Katie Spencer, the more it appears that this may be something lot more hazardous, rather than betrayal at all. A lengthy game. A Trojan horse. Drawings, smiles, and secrets fought a silent fight. If that's the case, Katie Spencer might have invited the enemy right into her boardroom. Eric Forrester knows better than anyone. Katie's company is a real threat. Eric Forrester has lasted decades in the fashion industry by thinking 10 steps ahead, in contrast to Ridge Forrester, who jumps blindly into every fight equipped with ego and bluster. He doesn't undervalue competitors. He doesn't rely on arrogance. He also doesn't overlook new dangers. Because of this, Eric recognizes something Ridge won't. Katie Spencer's new fashion business isn't a vanity project. It's not a pastime. It's not a harmless side project. Forrester Creations faces a genuine and credible threat. Katie has resources from the Logan family, industry ties, financial support from Bill Spencer, insider knowledge of Forrester's shortcomings, a public narrative of independence and reinvention, and worst of all, she is driven. Katie wants to show that she can prosper without Forrester Creations, but she doesn't want to destroy them. She is dangerous just because of that. Why Eric didn't select war like Ridge? To be clear, Ridge Forrester has always responded to competition in the same way. Proclaim war. Declare your dominance. Shut down competitors. Flexibility. However, Eric is not Ridge. Eric has witnessed empires fall because their rulers mistook conceit for power. Thus, Eric took a much more frightening action rather than drawing battle lines. He grinned. He gave a compliment. He suggested working together. And he was able to do so. The unholy alliance between Eric and Katie raises immediate concerns from Katie Spencer's point of view. Eric Forrester joining her company seems like a dream come true. A protection from Forrester's reprisals, instant credibility, legendary design lineage, a media hype. A symbolic triumph over Ridge and Brooke, but from a strategic perspective, it's careless. Eric Forrester is not your typical designer. Forrester Creations is who he is. He is aware of their supply chains, vendor relationships, design cycles, market timing, and internal weaknesses. It's possible that he will now have an equally deep understanding of Logan Fashions. This brings up the awkward question of who gains more from this partnership, Eric or Katie. Is Eric actually betraying Ridge, or is he examining the enemy from the inside out? Fans of soap operas are sharply split. Some people think Eric is actually harmed, retired against his will. His own family marginalized him. Brooke and Ridge pushed her aside. From that perspective, his action makes emotional sense. However, seasoned observers are aware that Eric Forrester acts on more than just feeling. He makes decisions based on calculations. Because of this, a lot of fans believe that this is a hidden operation rather than a genuine defection. If Eric were to integrate himself into Katie's business, he would have the following advantages: early warning of competing strategies, insight into Bill Spencer's finance plans, advanced knowledge of launches, and the potential to subtly sabotage from inside. If this is the case, Eric wouldn't be betraying Forrester Creations. He is defending it. Spoilers for Bold and the beautiful hint that Katie Spencer's doubts might be her only chance for survival. And she ought to. Because history ought to be yelling at her, regardless of how friendly Eric seems. Eric Forrester, created an empire, survived many betrayals, outwitted competitors for decades, knows how to grin while sharpening the knife. Katie's desire to acquire Eric's talent may be impairing her judgment. A legend appears to her. Eric notices a chessboard. What about the first chess rule? Your endgame is never disclosed. There is no doubting that Eric is enraged with Ridge and Brooke, but it doesn't mean his loyalty has vanished. Being retired by your own son? Being marginalized in the business you founded? Seeing Brooke Logan stand next to Ridge as your power wanes? That is very painful. However, rage does not always equate to treachery. In actuality, rage frequently improves concentration. Eric might wish to harm Ridge. He might wish to make Brooke feel less important. However, his life's work would also be destroyed if Forrester Creations were destroyed. Eric might not be willing to go over that line. This raises the far riskier potential that Eric might be playing both sides.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.